You've heard the tale of Sleeping Beauty. A princess cursed to sleep for 100 years. A kingdom frozen in time. A kiss that broke the spell. But what if that story wasn't a fairy tale? What if buried beneath the legend was a real girl who vanished into myth? Because hidden in the forests of Eastern Europe are whispers of a princess who didn't just fall asleep. She was put to sleep on purpose to escape something the world wasn't ready for. And when she awoke, the world had changed forever. But the question is, what did she bring back with her? The Forgotten Kingdom. Long before the Brothers Grimm, before Disney turned dreams into cartoons, there was a kingdom called Valentia. A place of quiet meadows, ancient trees, and one ruler, desperate for an heir. After decades of praying and pleading, the queen gave birth to a daughter. Princess Alara. Born beneath a blood moon, with eyes the color of stormlight. The people rejoiced. But the old women of the mountains, they whispered. This child, they said, is marked by time. And so, on her christening day, they came uninvited. Not witches, but seers. One of them leaned close to the baby and said, she will sleep through fire and wake in ash. What did she bring back with her? The curse or the prophecy? Years passed. Alara grew. She was graceful, kind, strange. She spoke to birds, danced in thunderstorms. And once, just once, she claimed she saw herself in a mirror. But older, wiser, afraid. On her 16th birthday, the seers returned. Not with a curse, but a warning. There is a war coming. One that will not end with swords. She must be protected. The king, driven by fear, commissioned the Chronowell, a chamber built deep beneath the castle, where time could be bent. Paused. Stilled. Alara didn't resist. She volunteered. And as the first leaves of winter fell, the princess was laid into sleep. Not by magic, but science so old, it looked like magic. But she was never meant to sleep for a century. 100 years of silence. The world moved on. Wars came. Borders shifted. Valentia disappeared from maps. Castles crumbled into soil. And the chamber was forgotten. But deep underground, she slept. Body still. Mind untouched. Her dreams, vast, cosmic. She saw people she never met. Cities that didn't exist. And shadows. Always, shadows at the edge of her dream. Some say dreams are just the brain processing memories. But what if she wasn't just dreaming? What if she was watching? The awakening. It happened on the night of a solar flare. A small expedition team, scanning the forest floor, found what looked like an ancient vault. When they cracked it open, they expected tombs, bones, dust. But instead, they found her, lying in crystal, breathing, alive. And then, her eyes opened. She spoke a language no one knew, wrote symbols that matched nothing on earth. And when they asked her name, she whispered, I am Alara, the last daughter of Valentia. The world didn't believe her. But they couldn't explain her DNA. Or her memories of cities long gone. Or how she knew about the wars. Before anyone told her. The girl who shouldn't exist. Alara became a global mystery. Scientists ran tests. Psychologists ran interviews. But her story never changed. And then, She started predicting things. Earthquakes. Floods. Births. She said she'd seen them all. In her sleep. Some believed she was divine. Others, dangerous. But Alara said one thing, again and again. The shadows followed me. And they're waking too. What shadows? She never answered. Only stared at the night sky. Like something was missing. The prophecy revealed. Then, one night, she vanished. No alarms. No cameras. No witnesses. Gone. But in her room. A note written in that strange, spiraling script. The time I escaped. Is the time they were trapped. But now, they've found a way out. And I must go back. Before they do. Search teams were launched. Forests scanned. But Valencia was gone again. As if the land itself buried the truth. What are we really remembering? Maybe fairy tales weren't made up. Maybe they're warnings, wrapped in beauty. A sleeping princess. Was never about love. It was about time. And what happens when we cheat it? Alara's story isn't about dreams. But survival. A girl who chose stasis over slaughter. And woke in a world unready for her truth. But what if she's still out there? Not hiding. But preparing? Because some stories don't end. They pause. And some doors, once opened, can't be closed again. The final revelation. So what was real? The girl? The sleep? The shadows? Maybe the real question is, why do we still tell the story? Because deep down, we feel it. That something ancient still sleeps beneath our world. And maybe, one day, it will wake again. Just like her. But this time, she might not be alone. If you could sleep through your greatest fear, would you risk waking up in a world you no longer know? Legends aren't just stories. They're reflections, of our fears, and our hopes. Alara may have slept for 100 years. But the real question is, what will you wake up to tomorrow? If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe. Because there are more forgotten tales. More truths buried in fable. Waiting to be told. And who knows? The next story might already be dreaming of you.